there's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want.
This newly leaked audio of Justin Baldoni's alleged apology to Blake Lively has ignited even more drama in the ongoing legal battle over It Ends With Us. The nearly 7-minute voice memo appears to reveal his regret over creative clashes, particularly around one scene. But what's the subtext? Is this a clue about alleged pressure he may have been feeling from Lively's powerful circle? And the release raises more questions. Was it leaked to help Baldoni's case, or does it reveal uncomfortable moments that could backfire? We're going to break it all down for you right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. A bombshell voice memo, seemingly from Justin Baldoni to Blake Lively, has just been leaked, adding even more fuel to their ongoing Hollywood legal drama. The nearly 7-minute recording, which was first released by Daily Mail, centers around an apology that Baldoni allegedly sent during the production of It Ends With Us. And in it, Baldoni, again the director and co-star of the film, addresses what appear to be creative clashes with Blake Lively over a pivotal scene. It's the iconic rooftop moment where their characters essentially meet for the first time or converse for the first time. This is an important moment in the film and also the book upon which the film is based. Now, according to Baldoni, this was just one disagreement that led to a full-blown feud. So I want to break down what apparently led up to this voice memo, and then we'll talk about it. So we're going back to April of 2023. During production, Lively reportedly asked Baldoni if she could rewrite this, again, iconic rooftop scene. And again, this film is based off of a novel of the same name. So this is a crucial moment for setting the film's tone. Now, Baldoni says he was hesitant for her to rewrite this because this was a very important scene, but he eventually gave in. And he says he gave in because he says he felt pressure from Lively's A-list husband, Ryan Reynolds, and another major celebrity, presumably Taylor Swift. So while Baldoni claims that both had praised Lively's edits, they spoke right in front of him, talked about how great her edits were, he was less enthusiastic, which he admits ultimately backfired on him. So we're going to keep on following all aspects of this Baldoni-Lively saga as it develops. And for that, I have to thank Upside for sponsoring this episode of Sidebar, because their support helps make episodes like this possible. Now, Upside is awesome. It is a free app that gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, food. I pump my gas, I can use Upside. I go out to lunch at, let's say, Chipotle, I can use Upside. Perhaps some maybe gum or Tic Tacs at 7-Eleven. I'm using Upside. Why not get cash back when I do all these things, right? And yes, this is actual real cash back. It's money that appears in your Upside app that you transfer right into your bank account. So once you have the free Upside app, you claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. You pay as usual using a debit or credit card. You follow the steps on the app, you get paid. So to find out how much you could earn, you click the link in the description to download Upside, or you scan the QR code on screen. But make sure to use our promo code SIDEBAR because you'll get an extra 25 cents back on every gallon on your first tank of gas. So now we got to talk about this leaked voice note. And first of all, we can't confirm who it was leaked by, but if it was leaked by Baldoni's camp, that fuels the narrative put forward by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' side, that they say Baldoni's legal team is improperly litigating this case in the media, constantly talking about this case, releasing footage from the film, and now this. They actually have asked the court to step in, to stop, particularly Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman, from doing this, from litigating this case in the public. If that's true, we don't know for sure. But after we listen to this, you gotta wonder, was it actually leaked by Baldoni's side? Would he want everyone to hear this? Does it really help his case? Because in this leaked voice note, apparently sent at 2 a.m, Baldoni addresses the tension surrounding the writing of this rooftop scene head on, offering what he seems to suggest is a heartfelt apology. Now, by the way, keep in mind something. 2 a.m. may sound like a strange time to leave a voice note, and arguably it might be, but it's our understanding this may have come 10 minutes or so after Lively had texted Baldoni about her concerns over his reaction to her rewrites of that scene. And we're going to get into what she wrote, but I want you to check this out.
I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that.
Got to give you some context here. So Baldoni's apology centers on his initial hesitation to approve the changes that Lively had made to the rooftop scene, her rewrites. In his lawsuit, Baldoni claims that he felt compelled to follow Lively's script revisions after receiving praise from her powerful circle, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, who allegedly complimented Lively's work during a meeting at her Manhattan penthouse, that they were telling Baldoni how great this was. And text messages from the lawsuit reveal that Baldoni was telling Lively, quote, also was working on rooftop scene today. I really love what you did. It does help a lot. Makes it so much more fun and interesting. And I would have felt that way without Ryan and Taylor. So he arguably could be seen to be backtracking and saying, no, your revisions are great. He has come out and basically said, the only reason I said that is because I felt this pressure from A-listers like Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. Now, in response, this is important, Lively reportedly texted him back, I told them, again assuming this is Reynolds and Swift, that you laughed a bunch and said it's probably a blend, but you appreciate my passion so much, which of course didn't feel great for me or them to have my passion praised instead of any specific contributions. So she was arguably insulted by his reaction to her rewrites, okay? But Baldoni, again, who now claims that he was under pressure, and whatever the case might be, we can all agree, Blake Lively sent that message to Justin Baldoni, and clearly she was not happy with what was going on. So he issues this apology through the voice memo. That's why he's saying, I'm sorry, and I'm so sorry, thank you for telling me how you feel. And Baldoni can be heard promising to make things right with Blake Lively, even admitting that he is a very flawed man.
I am far from perfect. I am a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm going to f up. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. I'm going to piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize and find my way back to center.
Now, in Baldoni's lawsuit, and what appears to be part of Lively's response to Baldoni's apology, she seems to make a metaphorical comparison of herself to a Game of Thrones character and actually refers to Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds as dragons. That text reads, if you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I, Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons. For better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise you. Now, the mention of Lively's dragon friends appears to be directly referenced in this voice note.
And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that. And we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're two of the most creative people on the planet. The three of you guys together is unbelievable. Talk about energy and just a force, all three of you. But I just wanted you to know that I didn't need that because it's really good and it's going to make the movie sing.
We've also discussed the alleged tension between these two during their on-set interactions, where Lively claims that she felt uncomfortable with what she described as intrusive behavior from Baldoni, while Baldoni insists their working relationship was positive, that he was genuinely excited about what they could build together. And this is reflected in the next part of this voice message, where he expresses excitement at spending more time with her.
I'm just excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible.
Now, Baldoni also argued that in his lawsuit that because Lively allegedly felt comfortable enough to get vulnerable with him and converse casually, he felt he could reciprocate that energy. So listen to this next part from the voice memo.
You and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note. And that, I will be honest with you, that is not my biggest strength. I love being with people and being in somebody's space and being face to face. And I feel like that's where I excel. I'm just really looking forward to spending time together. And I think that's going to really go a long way for our chemistry, which I believe is there.
So Justin Baldoni's lawsuit suggests that he feared the potential difficulties or repercussions of what he could face if he didn't comply with Blake Lively's request, particularly when Lively allegedly texted him referencing, the influence of her husband Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. The text reportedly reads, "They," again referencing Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, "also know I'm not always good at making sure I'm seen and utilized for fear of threatening egos or fear of affecting the ease of the process. They don't give a blank about that. And because of that, everyone listens to them with immense respect and enthusiasm. So I guess I have to stop worrying about people liking me." Again, this seems to be what facilitated this voice memo. Now, Baldoni appears to apologize for any discomfort that Lively may have felt in the past, and ironically assures her that her experience on It Ends With Us will be very different, or at least that he hoped it would be.
I am so sorry you have been through what you've been through with these other filmmakers and producers or whoever the people were that you worked with. It just pissed me off. Those kids that, I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be. Hopefully it's not been the experience with me.
But as he expresses hope that her experience will be positive, he also goes on to say, in kind of an interesting way, that he's excited to work with her and, in his words, have all of her.
There's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want.
Now, I'm not suggesting that's a sexual reference, but it is, that phrasing, an interesting way to express his enthusiasm about working with somebody, right? And Baldoni concludes the voice message by reaffirming his dedication to It Ends With Us, emphasizing his collaboration with a domestic violence organization to ensure the film resonates authentically, helps people heal. And that's important because apparently they had two different ways they marketed the film. He focused on the domestic violence aspect of the film, whereas Blake Lively was actually criticized for making it seem lighthearted and bring your florals and bring your friends. And I wonder if that's going to be an important point in that voice memo. But he ends, however, with something that is likely supposed to be a humorous reference to Lively's personal and family life, but take a listen.
I'm going to stop rambling because it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m. I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that. And I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done. Cutting myself off. Good night.
Okay, so from a legal point of view, it is hard to say who this voice note helps more, right? So on one hand, Baldoni could say, look, I was respectful of her. I acquiesced to her. If there were any issues that she felt, I was always receptive. I'm not the person that she has portrayed me to be. And by him apologizing, it's almost showing the power dynamic, right? That she had the power here. She had the control, not me. Would I really be in a position to create a hostile work environment and sexually harass someone as powerful as Blake Lively? That's an argument. On the other hand, the very fact that he left her a voice note at 2 a.m. and made arguably strange comments, wanting all of her, I'm just excited to spend time with you, even allegedly talked about her boob, that in and of itself could be argued by a well-seasoned lawyer to be a form of harassment. He was the director. Sure, Hollywood sets are different than offices, but workplace discrimination and harassment and hostile work environments, they all come into play. And even well-intentioned statements or actions could be illegal. And again, him acknowledging mistakes and issues that he may have caused or will cause, did he wrong her in some way? Again, I'm torn on who this voice note benefits and if it was actually released by Baldoni's side. And sure, we don't know for sure, but if it was this a good idea? And look, it seems the idea is reversing the public narrative in his favor, right? That would be the goal of putting all this out there in the public. This is the way to do it? So hopefully we'll get a little bit more clarity on that. But by the way, this is the second major piece of evidence to emerge since Baldoni filed his lawsuit against Blake Lively. So just last week, Brian Friedman, again Baldoni's attorney, released behind-the-scenes footage from a romantic montage on set, which he argues shows Lively wasn't uncomfortable around Baldoni. However, Lively's team claims the footage proves she was. In Lively's complaint, she alleges that Baldoni broke character during the scene, made an offhand comment like "it smells so good" when he was near her. Part of her lawsuit reads, Mr. Baldoni was caressing Miss Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Miss Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was,